Thank you, everybody. Welcome, welcome, wonderful people. You are welcome. I want to thank you for joining us. I want to really thank you for joining us. I am so pleased to see you. You have joined. This is about the open letter of Nnamdi Kanu. This is the open letter of Nnamdi Kanu. I am welcoming you. I am welcoming you. Please help and share the broadcast that others may know that we are live and direct. Help and share the broadcast, please, wherever you're watching from. It is important so that others will know that we are live, so that others will know that we are live and direct. Please. Thank you and welcome. Thank you for joining. Thank you. Please, can you say hi through the chat section? Can you say hi through the chat section? If you can hear me. I know you can hear me, but I just want to confirm that. Yes. Thank you very much. Please share the broadcast. In a few moments, we're going to start. I'm going to bring to the screen this very important open letter written by the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra in the person of Maxwell Nnawuihe Kanu over his release. He needs to be released. He needs to be released. But if we don't do something collectively, if we don't follow up the very aberration of the law to ensure that we raise the alarm, that the men and women of good conscience may hear the voice of this man, the voice of this prisoner of conscience, he may not be able to be released. It is our collective responsibility to rally around him to see that justice is seen to be done. It is our responsibility, regardless of your tribe, regardless of your community, regardless of your political inclination, regardless of your religious inclination. It is our responsibility to stand shoulder to shoulder with him, because this is going to become a precedence in law. This is what you need to understand. If injustice that is being meted out to Nnamdi Kanu, this very aberration of the law, this very subversion of the constitution, if we collectively allow it to stick, it is going to become what is called precedence in law. What does it mean? It will be used as a yardstick. It will be used as an authority in a competent law of jurisdiction or in a competent court of jurisdiction to judge any other case similar to this, even if it has nothing to do with agitation, even if it has nothing to do with secession, even if it doesn't have anything to do with breaking away from Nigeria. It is going to be cited in a court of competent jurisdiction over certain matters that may be similar to that of Nnamdi Kanu. This is why you need to rise up, those who are in position to play their role to ensure that Nnamdi Kanu is released immediately. They have to rise up, no more excuses. You have seen the injustices over the years. You have seen the subversion of the constitution over the years. You have seen the torture. You have seen the denial of his inalienable rights, his fundamental human rights as enshrined in the Constitution of Nigeria and that of the United Nations charters and declarations and conventions, both the Vienna Convention of 1952. This you need to understand. It is clearly captured in the Constitution of Nigeria, 1999 Constitution as amended. This very document is the ground norm. Every law in Nigeria must find their legal standing and backing on this very constitution or this very document. That is how it is. The constitution is the ground norm. Please share the broadcast. Thank you, my returning subscribers. If you are coming across my broadcast or my channel for the first time and you are watching right now, thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you very much. I do appreciate. I really, really appreciate and recognize your presence. One of the things you need to do right now is to share the broadcast. That is the first thing you need to do. Please, please help the truth to get out there. We cannot do it alone, please. We cannot do it alone. Please help. Yes. Thank you very, very much. Yes. Today, it is Nnamdi Kanu. Tomorrow, we don't know who next is going to face this type of aberration or injustice. It may be you, it may be your uncle, it may be your best friend, it may be the person that God has predestined to be your destiny helper in the future. You may not understand. We don't know who next that is going to face this type of injustice. It could be your prospective boss, it could be your prospective partner in the future. Please, this concerns every one of us. Nnamdi Kanu is not the one that has caused the high inflations in Nigeria. Please, this you need to understand. It wasn't Nnamdi Kanu that caused high inflation in Nigeria. Since the abduction of Nnamdi Kanu, there has been poverty, hardship, and difficulties has become the experience of every Nigerian, regardless of the region of the country. Since the abduction of Nnamdi Kanu, Marginalization has not ended in Nigeria. Abduction of Nnamdi Kanu. Poverty has not ended in Nigeria since the abduction of Nnamdi Kanu. The poor man, the poor woman there, those who are less privileged, the common man in the street, cannot be able to feed, cannot be able to take care of their children, cannot be able to take care of their basic needs of life. Since Nnamdi Kanu has been detained in the DSS dungeon in Abuja, Nigeria, he is not the one that rigged the election in 2023. This you need to understand. Since Nnamdi Kanu has been detained in the DSS dungeon in Abuja, Nigeria, he is not the one that caused unstable power supply in Nigeria. Every Nigerian have been experiencing it. Every common man on the street can really attest to the fact that life has been like hell since Nnamdi Kanu has been held in the DSS dungeon in Abuja, Nigeria. He is not the one that is causing the extortions on the road, either by the police or the army or members of the security agencies of Nigeria. I could go on and on. Since Nnamdi Kanu has been held in the DSS dungeon in Abuja, Nigeria, he is not the one that has caused the Naira to continue to nosedive. He's not the one that has caused dollar to continue to gain momentum and rise higher than Naira, causing high inflations in the country. This you need to understand. Since Nnamdi Kanu has been held down in the DSS dungeon in Abuja, Nigeria, he is not the one that is causing the civil unrest. He's not the one that is causing the insecurity. He's not the one that is organizing the kidnappings, whether in the southeast or the banditry in the north. He's not the one. Please share the broadcast, and I'm bringing to you in the next 2 minutes. Is going to be on the screen the open letter of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to the world for his release. For his release, facts and truth. That is what we are dealing with right now. Fact and truth, not sentiment. Not sentiment. We are not talking about sentiment. If you are a new subscriber, thank you for just subscribing. My returning subscribers, thank you very much. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe to this channel and go to the description of this video. Go to the description of this video. You will see a lot of other interesting videos that will be a blessing to you, that will inspire and motivate you. This very channel, you will come across a lot of broadcasts like this, a lot of broadcasts, a lot of teachings, a lot of inspirational videos, motivational videos that also addresses different kind of issues in life, whether in business, whether in leadership, whether it is in terms of finance, whether it's in terms of whatever it is, prayers, faith. You will find a lot of materials on this channel. What I'm doing is according to the will of God. I am a pastor, yes. What I'm doing is according to the will of God. God is the God of freedom. It is for the sake of freedom that Jesus came. Yeshua HaMashiach came and died on the cross of Calvary for the freedom of humanity. What Nnamdi Kanu is doing is exactly what Moses did in his own time. What Nnamdi Kanu is doing, fighting for the freedom of his people, for the people of Biafra to reach their full potential, to realize their purpose on earth, to enjoy the better life that God has predestined for them. This is exactly what Moses did in his own time. Pharaoh, let my people go. That is a declaration. That is an expression. That is an opinion of agitation. This you must understand. Pharaoh, let my people go. It is the gospel of liberation. It is the gospel of emancipation. God abhors. God hates the emasculation of the people, the enslavement of the people, the captivity of the people. This you need to understand. What Nnamdi Kanu is doing, for which he is calling for his release, writing an open letter to you, to men and women of good will and good conscience, was exactly what Joshua did in his own time, exactly what Gideon did in his own time, exactly what Samson did. Samson fought for the liberation of the Israelites from the Philistines. This you need to understand. David killed Goliath for the freedom of the enslavement and the molestation of the Israelites by the Philistines. This we all need to understand. Nnamdi Kanu's open letter to the world for his release. Facts and truth. That is what we're broadcasting today. Please help and share the broadcast. And I'm bringing to the screen. I am bringing to the screen help and share the broadcast. Help and share the broadcast. This will do us a lot of good. And I want to recommend that you like the broadcast. Like the broadcast. Let me tell you what it means. When you like the broadcast and when you share the broadcast, the YouTube is going to take note of this broadcast and it's going to help the YouTube algorithm to recommend this broadcast to other people who are on YouTube. It is going to help the YouTube algorithm to recommend this broadcast even after the broadcast had ended. It will be a video on this channel on YouTube, and YouTube will continue to recommend the broadcast and the video to everyone that comes to YouTube. And the more people come across this type of video, the more understanding, the more it is quite clear, the more understandable it will be what Nnamdi Kanu is going through and what the Biafran people are going through. You don't know who may be watching. You don't know the next person that will be watching this video. It may be Donald Trump. It may be the Russian president, Putin. It may be the shakers and the movers in the political arena on the international stage. It may be some good men and women of good conscience in the British government. It may be some people who have their consciences alive in Nigeria. You don't know who is going to be watching this video. That's why it's important that you share the broadcast, that many more people are going to come across it. Nnamdi Kanu has written to you and to me. Nnamdi Kanu has written to the whole world. How are we going to get the letter out there? How are we going to make sure that the world comes across this letter? How are we going to make sure that we become his courier or his agents? How are we going to make sure that we are able to extend this letter to the rest of the world? It is through broadcasts like this. It is through broadcasts like this. And by you sharing and liking the broadcast. We are live and direct. We are live. We are live and direct. Thank you very much. And please, what we are discussing is fact, not fiction. What we are discussing is fact, not fiction. Every content on this channel, they are all original. They are all authentic. There is no misleading information and there is no misinformation on this channel. This is the fact of life. Now, I am bringing the letter to you, and we're going to be taking some important critical points that are captured on the paragraphs. Very, very important that we need to know. Each paragraph has a striking information and a striking fact and truth, reflecting and exposing the condition of his trial, his ordeal, in comparison to the Constitution of Nigeria and other international human rights laws. All right, here it comes. Open letter to the general public by Nnamdi Kanu. It is an open letter. It is no more a secret memo. It is no more a confidential letter. It is now an open letter. He has written to you. He has written to me. He has written to the rest of the world. As I read this letter, somehow or somewhere along the line, I'm going to bring the prophecy I made in 2023. I told my audience in a live broadcast on the 5th of October, 2023, that if we don't pray, if we neglect the spiritual dimension of this case, if we refuse to stand consistently in prayers, that the case will continue till 2025 and nothing will happen. That video, that broadcast is still on this channel. I'm going to bring it up. I made that prophetic statement during a live broadcast on the 5th of October 2023. That if we don't mount a very strong spiritual force, if we don't stand very strongly and mobilize massively for spiritual exercise on the altars of prayer, that this case of Nnamdi Kanu will continue until 2025. I made that prophecy on the 5th of October 2023. And today we are in 2025 and the case is still going on in Nigeria. Deuteronomy chapter 18 from verse 18 to 22 says that the mark of a prophet is that what he says comes to pass. What he says comes to pass. To adhere to spiritual and prophetic instruction is to the advantage of the Biafran people, regardless of where they are. More especially, you must listen to the real prophets, not prophet by popularity, not prophet by campaign, not prophet by cabal's nomination or recommendation, not prophet by tribalism, not prophet by religious inclination or political inclination. No, real prophets. Very, very rare. If you come across one, you are very privileged. I will bring that video to you. Please don't log out. I'm going to read this very open letter verbatim from the first paragraph to the last. Then I will go to that prophecy that I made on this channel on the 5th of October 2023. And after that, I will bring you back to this open letter to do a brief analysis. Very important. You can indicate where you're watching from through the chat section. You can type in your location, not exactly where you are, but the country where you are. You can just type it in, and then that will be all. You can also make your own input. You can also make your own input via the chat section. It's open for you to make an input because this letter was also written to you. This letter concerns you. It's very important. You will have your say via the chat section. Please share the broadcast. In the next 2 minutes, I will begin the reading of the open letter. Please don't log out. Like the broadcast, share it massively, God bless you. There is trouble, there is suffering all over Nigeria. Umibo nọ na nsogbu, eziokwu nọ na nga. Onye na-agwaghị ihe o merenụ, akpọrọ ya tukpuonu na nga. United Nations judgment has set him free, let him go. Ojesano bata Chineke, anya tụọra gị mama. Ebube mo igirigi, ebube mo igirigi. Go ahead, share the broadcast. When the wicked man is seated upon the throne, everywhere you go, crying suffer, suffer. Tire suffer, suffer. From the east to the west, the mado nebakao. From the north to the south, it is trouble, trouble. That is what is happening in Nigeria now. And it's not Nnamdi Kanu that caused it. So he must be released. But sin is a reproach to any people, any people. Yes, when you look around Nigeria today, what we see is reproach, reproach, reproach. Ihe nkọcha. MSC election njinji ejibenu. Mr. Peter B. Wegano Tribunal. Ebelebe ebubenu. Alhaja Tika Bubake Jeben America. Jesano Batano Gaba Supreme Court. Ikpe bielano. Ikpe bielano. Umigbo nọ n'iwe. Ndị mmadụ nọ n'akwa. Amụma Maxwell buru omezuwo n'elu ụwa mmụọ. Umigbo eziokwu nọ na nga. Nnamdi Kanu nọ na nga. Eziokwu nọ na nga. United Nations judgment has set him free. Let him go. They must let him go. Aka na gwọrịa agbanwe ọnọdụ anyị papa. N'Imo steeti ọbara na-agwụ ebe niile o. Leza n'Imo steeti ọbara na-efe ebe niile o. Ndị egburu egbu na ndị agbara ụlọ ha ọkụ. Ndị agbara ahịa ha ọkụ. Chineke nụrụ n'olu ụmụ gị o. N'Abia steeti gbanwe ọnọdụ anyị. N'Ebonyi steeti na Enugu Chineke ọ bụzi gịnị na-emenụ. Anyị ejebezi Anambra Chineke gbanwe ọnọdụ anyị. Ụmụ gị na-akpọ gị o, anyị na-ebe akwa o. Lenu Nnamdi Kanu o, Chineke gbanwe n'ọnọdụ ya, gwọọnụ ya ọrịa. O jesanụ batanụ anya tụọra gị mma n'iru gị o. Ebube mo igirigi. This song you are hearing now, go to the description section of this broadcast. You will see the link to download it from AudioMac. This song that is singing in the background is the track I dedicated to Nnamdi Kanu and to the Biafran people and to all the people who are suffering in different places in Nigeria. Turn This Around is the title. If you go to Audio Mark, you are going to see this track. It is in the description section of this broadcast. Every other video on this channel, you will see the link to listen to this song and download it. It is a song of prayer and worship that God will turn things around in the case of Nnamdi Kanu, in the case of the Biafra restoration. When you download the song, share it everywhere. Share it everywhere. It's a song of prayer. Now, I am coming to read the letter verbatim, and I'll bring the prophetic. I will bring the prophetic statement I made on the 5th of October 2023. And after that, I'm going to bring you back to this very open letter for very, very factual and unbiased analysis. I'm going to read verbatim, please. And I will not interrupt the reading of this open letter because it is the letter of Maxwell Nnawuihe Kanu. I begin now. Open letter to the general public by Maxwell Nnawuihe Kanu. Greetings to all men and women of goodwill in Nigeria and elsewhere in the world. I have been compelled by the events of the past few days to take the unusual step of writing this open letter to the singular purpose of calling the attention of the general public to the serial, executive, and judicial fraud being perpetrated against me since my extraordinary rendition in 2021. The details are as follows. 1. In a judgment entered on 1st March 2017, the Federal High Court Abuja ruled that the IPOB is not an unlawful group. At the time, it received widespread publicity, which can be verified from Vanguard.com. This landmark ruling made by the court before it turned unjust emanated in a criminal proceedings that required proof beyond reasonable doubt, and in which the federal government and my humble self presented our respective cases. Alas, instead of the federal government to go on appeal as the law mandated, if they are dissatisfied with the judgment, the former Attorney General Abubakar Malami went behind closed doors with a letter signed by late Abba Kyari and got IPOB proscribed or tagged a terrorist group in an ex parte proceedings conducted without notice to me or to the IPOB. This abominable incident was the earliest sign yet that the government and its judiciary have struck an unholy and fraudulent alliance to deny me my rights and thereby imperil the lives and liberty of millions who identify with IPOB. 2. On 26 October 2022, a federal high court declared my extraordinary rendition and detention as unconstitutional, stating that the manner of arrest and detention of the appellant, Maxwell Nnawuihe Kanu, in Kenya, his continued detention in Abuja, his subjection to physical and mental trauma by the respondents, the inhuman and degrading treatments meted out to the appellant or the applicants amount to a brazen violation of the applicant's fundamental rights to dignity of his person and threats to life under Section 34, subsection 1A of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended. The court further ordered the federal government to apologize to me and pay me compensation. In a responsible and well-ordered society run by a responsible government, this judgment is sufficient to have ended my lengthy detention and encourage the federal government to constructively engage me on the issue of the self-determination agitation that triggered this whole saga. Number 3. We are going to read the number 3 now. I am trusting that this very letter is on the screen. Confirm to me that the letter is on the screen. Confirm to me that the letter is on the screen. Now, I'm going to take it out and bring it back again so that we read together. I want to be sure that the letter is on the screen. Now we are reading the paragraph 3. Pedaled back to 13th October 2022 when the Court of Appeal held that the court must never shy away from calling the executive to order when there resorts to acts of executive lawlessness. The duty of the courts is to maintain a balance between ensuring that law and order is obeyed and the protection of the individual from oppressive actions by the executive. By the forcible abduction and extraordinary rendition of the appellant, Maxwell Nnamdi Kanu, from Kenya to this country on the 27th day of June 2021, in violation of international and state laws, lower courts, or indeed any court in this country, is divested of jurisdiction to entertain charges against the appellant. Despite the clarity of this judgment and its comportment with reason, the federal government refused to release me from detention while it went behind closed doors and connived with 3 other justices of the Court of Appeal who fraudulently and swiftly sat on appeal over the judgment and practically destroyed it by issuing what they termed a stay of execution. One may then ask, is it not abominable for a court to stay a judgment the government already disobeyed? In a plethora of cases, the Supreme Court has held that anybody who disobeys a related court order cannot be given any judicial relief until such order is obeyed. This is a sound reasoning that applies to everybody, but is fraudulently overlooked when it comes to my case. Paragraph 4. Fast forward to 15th December 2023, when the Supreme Court sent back my case to the Federal High Court for trial. For avoidance of doubt, that was not the only decision the Supreme Court made. It also decided that my bail should not have been revoked. And it went on to state clearly that the judge exhibited significant and unacceptable bias by revoking my bail. In a sane society, one would expect that when the High Court received my case from the Supreme Court, and hankered down for trial. It was also duty bound to restore my bail in line with the pronouncement of the apex court. But that did not happen. Why? Well, your guess is as good as mine, and that is the court connived with the federal government to continue my detention in violation of Section 287 of the Constitution, or the Nigerian Constitution, while they plotted to railroad me through a unfair trial that already has a predetermined verdict. Paragraph 5. On 24th September 2025, I decided, on 24th September 2024, I decided that I have had enough of taking my chances at getting justice from a judge that in June 2021 sent me to the secret police detention without fair hearing. Later refused to transfer me to the prison to better prepare for my trial, and capped it all by refusing to restore my bail, and instead ordered an accelerated hearing in the face of the reality that I will never get a fair trial whilst detained at the DSS. These are the major reasons that compelled me to request recusal of the judge. And having consented to it, she proceeded to make an order removing herself from my case. That order was never challenged on appeal. Thus, it remains extant to this day. But instead of the Chief Judge of the Federal High Court to do the lawful thing by assigning my case to another judge, he connived with the federal government to eat crow and send my case to a judge that stands recused by a valid court order. To conclude this open letter, let me make it clear that it should in no way be construed to mean that there are no decent judges in Nigeria that can be trusted to deliver even-handed justice in my case. That is not the issue. Instead, the issue is that my case is deliberately being shielded from judges and justices that are deemed to be committed to doing justice, even when it means that the federal government must lose. Be that as it may, if it will take the rest of my life in detention to produce me before a proper and impartial court, so be it. But let me say this for the world to know. I will not succumb to any trial conducted by any judge or court whose jurisdiction does not pass constitutional muster. Not now, not ever. Thank you all. Signed, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, dated 14th February 2025. This is the end of the reading of the letter. I'm going to bring to you the prophecy I gave regarding this case on the 5th of October 2023. It has come to pass. 100% accurate manifestation. 100% accurate manifestation. Nothing removed. Nothing removed or reduced from that very prophecy. I'm bringing it now. I am bringing it right away. Thank you, Pastor Ike. Thank you for joining us. Every other person that have joined, you can also indicate via the chat section. Let me remind you what I said before I read the letter. After I bring to the screen the prophecy I made on the 5th of October 2023, I'm going to remove the screen and I will bring back this very letter. And then we're going to look into some important aspects, striking statements captured on the paragraphs. Very important. So hang in there. Do not log out. Please, I want to remind you the need for you to share the broadcast. Even if you have shared before, there is no limitation to your sharing. You can share it over and over again. And please try and like the broadcast. The more you share the broadcast and like the broadcast, the more YouTube recommend the broadcast and the video to everyone that comes to YouTube. And that will help the truth to spread faster. It is going to help a lot of people to know actually what is happening, that everyone may rise up without any further delay to ensure that Nnamdi Kanu is released before the first half of this year is over. Please, it's important. Here it comes. Please confirm to me that you can see the screen that is being shared. Confirm to me that you can see the screen that is being shared. Please. I hope some of you that do not understand Igbo, this very song, some of the lyrics are partly in Igbo, some of the lyrics are in English. When you hear Eziokwu Nonanga, it is talking about Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. It means that the truth is in prison. Eziokwu Nonanga. Please confirm to me that you can see the screen that is shared. Please confirm to me. I am looking at the comment section right now. I want to be sure. Eziokwu Nonanga. Eziokwu Nonanga. Nnamdi Kanu Nonanga. Eziokwu Nonanga. United Nations judgment has set him free. Let him go. That is what we are doing. We have been doing this for more than 4 years. We have been doing this. That is the lyrics of the song. Try and download this song. It is in the comment or it is in the description section. The description of this broadcast, scroll down to it. You are going to see the link to listen to this song and download it. Very important. All right. We go to the prophecy right now. We go to the prophecy right now. I am seeing the prophecy on the screen now. I don't know if you can see the screen, but I believe you're going to hear the audio. I don't know. I've been trying to monitor the display of the screen from my mobile device. I'm not seeing it on the screen, but I believe it is here on my system. It is here on my system. Now I am playing it right now. I am not seeing the screen. I am not seeing the screen. I don't know why that is the case. I don't know why YouTube is not allowing the screen sharing. I don't know what really happened, but I'm going to stop the screen sharing and bring it back. If it doesn't come up, I'm going to play it back to you through my mobile device. I don't know why the screen is not coming up. If it doesn't come up, I have my mobile device here. I can play from my mobile device and I will show it to you. It is right here on this channel, live broadcast on the 5th of October 2023. What I said then, you are going to hear it. You are going to hear it. Now, let me make an attempt. Let me make an attempt. Let me see. All right. With what I'm seeing here, I don't know why the audio is not also coming out. I'm going to try another means of playing it out. I'm going to try another way of playing it out that you may see it. The video, the broadcast is on this channel, 5th of February, sorry, 5th of October 2023. All right. Let me bring back the letter while I trying to play back the prophecy. Just a moment. Just a moment. I hope that you can see the letter. Can you see the letter on the screen? Now, why the clip is coming up, let us look at the first important statement that Nnamdi Kanu made. Let's just take a look at that. In the paragraph 1, he talked about the IPOB proscription through an ex parte order. An ex parte order, IPOB was not invited, Nnamdi Kanu was not present. There was no legal representation in the court during when this ex parte order was given, which is a subversion of the constitution, which is contrary to what the Constitution of Nigeria recommends. Completely, totally an aberration of the law, a subversion of the constitution. That is what it is. Not supported, not guaranteed, not provided for by the constitution. Ex parte order for such a matter of such a great consequence, such as proscription or tagging a group, not just a group, tagging a race, tagging a nation, a terrorist organization. Who does that? Who does that? In an ex parte order without adequate legal representatives, it's not done anywhere. It's not done anywhere. It must be subjected to a legal process in which both IPOB or Nnamdi Kanu will be adequately represented by their legal team to argue the prescription, to argue it. It doesn't just happen in a hurry. It doesn't. And the federal government was supposed to provide facts and evidences, exhibits to substantiate their claim and the need for the proscription of IPOB as a terrorist organization. It never happened. That was number one, which is an nullity, which is an aberration. Number two, he mentioned the violation of his rights according to the section 34, subsection 1A of the Nigeria's 1999 Constitution as amended. This you need to understand. A violation of his rights according to the Constitution. Now, I have the Constitution here with me, and I'm going to read it out. I'm going to read it because that is what is captured in the paragraph 1 of the open letter of Maxwell Nnawuihe Kanu that we are reading today. I don't know why that letter, my screen has stopped sharing. I don't know what really happened. I've tried to bring it back. Help me confirm if the screen is back. I am seeing indication that the screen is back, but I need a confirmation to do so. I don't just want this to be a blind broadcast. This is an enlightenment broadcast. This is a very critical broadcast. All right. Thank you, Stella, for your comment that you cannot hear it in YouTube. I'm going to come back to the clip and I'm going to play it through other devices. I am trying to make sure that they are up and running before I bring that prophecy to the screen. But we're looking into our takeaway from the paragraphs of the open letter of Maxwell Nnawuihe Kanu. What are the takeaways? I've been mentioning them according to the paragraphs. I am still on the paragraph 1. The first thing that stands out in the paragraph 1 is the prescription of IPOB through an ex parte order in the court without the legal representatives of Maxwell Nnawuihe Kanu or IPOB, which is contrary to the proceedings of any criminal trial. That was number one. It can never stand. And of course, a court of competent jurisdiction in Nigeria ruled against it. We will come back to that very much later. We will come back to it. We are talking about facts and truth in this very open letter. I am Pastor Maxwell Nnawuihe. like and share the broadcast. Number two, I mentioned, according to the paragraph 1 on the screen, that Maxwell Nnamdi Kanu talked about the violation of his fundamental human right. Of his fundamental human right. Okay? Before then, let us go to the Nigerian 1999 Constitution as amended. Because in this open letter, Maxwell Nnamdi Kanu made mention of the Constitution of Nigeria. He cited the Constitution. He made mention of the Constitution. Now, what does the Constitution of Nigeria say in the section 34? Section 34, subsection 1. What does it say? We are going to look into it now. Right now. I'm going to show to you that I am reading from the hard copy of Nigerian 1999 Constitution as amended. Look at it. This is the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended. I hope you can see it. Now, I am opening to the section 34. Section 1A. Subsection 1. Every individual is entitled to respect for the dignity of his person, and accordingly, every individual is entitled to respect for the dignity of his person. That is what the Nigerian 1999 Constitution is saying. In the section 34, subsection 1, I'm going to read all the subsections. 1999 Constitution as amended. So, I have read subsection 1. Every individual is entitled to respect for the dignity of his person, and accordingly, subsection 1A of section 34, subsection 1A, it reads, no person shall be subjected to torture or to inhuman or degrading treatment. No person. That is what the Constitution of Nigeria provides. That is what it provides. That is what it says. No person shall be subjected to torture or to inhuman or degrading treatment. No person, no exceptions. It doesn't tell you, oh, if the person is from Igbo, or if the person is from Yoruba, or if the person is from Hausa Fulani. No, no person whatsoever, whoever, from whichever region in the country, no person should be subjected to torture, or to inhuman or degrading treatment. That is subsection 1A. Now, section 34, subsection 1B, I read, no person shall be held in slavery or servitude. No person shall be held in slavery or servitude. And subsection 1C, no person shall be required to perform forced or compulsory labor. This is what the Constitution of Nigeria provides. No person. No person. If you go to the section 35, subsection 1, it reads, every person shall be entitled to his personal liberty, and no person shall be deprived of such liberty, save in the following cases and in accordance with a procedure permitted by law. Permitted by law, not just a procedure that you deem fit as a president or as a judge or as DSS operative. No. Section 35, subsection 1 of the Nigerian 1999 Constitution as amended. For those who are joining now, that is where I'm reading from. With regards to the open letter of Maxwell Nnamdi Kanu, we are focusing on the fact and the truth. Supporting this open letter that men and women of good conscience should rise up without any hesitation right about now to stand by him. The injustices are too many. I continue to read from subsection 1 of section 35. Every person shall be entitled to his personal liberty, and no person shall be deprived of such liberty, save in the following cases and in accordance with a procedure permitted by law. A procedure permitted by law is the procedure by which Nnamdi Kanu is denied his liberty permitted by law. All these procedures, all of these adjournment, all of this torture, all of this restriction of or denial of access of his lawyers or his personal physician to attend to his medical need, are they permitted by the law? That he will not take, that he will not have a sufficient or a consistent medical attention, treatment in detention? Is that what the law permitted? Is that what the law approved? That he should be subjected to torture in the detention? Is that what the law permitted? Is that what the Constitution permitted as we read now? Subsection 1A of section 35. In execution of the sentence or order of a court in respect of a criminal offense of which he has been found guilty. Of which he has been found guilty. Nnamdi Kanu has not been found guilty. Please, this is why you need to share this broadcast. Like the broadcast, share the broadcast, so that YouTube will continue to recommend the broadcast and the video to so many people on YouTube. The more people watch this video, the more people become aware of what is happening with the case of Nnamdi Kanu. These are the type of broadcasts and videos that people need to watch, that they will understand the need for them to rise up and speak for the release of Nnamdi Kanu. This is not about politics. It's not about tribalism. He has not been found guilty. The deprivation of his liberty, the deprivation of the liberty of Nnamdi Kanu can only be guaranteed after his conviction. That is what the Constitution is saying here. He must be convicted by the court before his liberty can be denied or deprived. Section 35, subsection 1B. By reason of his failure to comply with the order of a court, or in order to secure the fulfillment of any obligation imposed upon him by the law. Order of the court. In order to secure the fulfillment of any obligation imposed on him by law. As it stands today, there is no obligation that the law of Nigeria imposed upon Nigeria. Sorry, upon Maxwell Nnamdi Kanu. There is no constitutional guarantee. There is no law anywhere that guarantees that the liberty of Nnamdi Kanu is right to be restricted or denied him because he failed to comply with the order of court or there is a constitutional obligation that is imposed on him. There is none. Section 35, subsection 1b. We have read that. Now, subsection 1c. For the purpose of bringing him before a court in execution of the order of a court, or upon reasonable suspicion of his having committed a reasonable or a criminal offense, or to such extent as may be reasonably necessary to prevent his committing a criminal offense. As I stand today, there is none of this according to the provision of the sections we have read in the Constitution of Nigeria, 1999, as amended, that should guarantee or that should warrant the court or the government to hold Nnamdi Kanu in the detention for several years. That is it. Now, in the case of persons suffering from infections or contagious disease, persons of unsound mind, persons addicted to drugs or alcohol or vagrants for the purpose of their care or treatment or the protection of the community. That is the only reason that they may not be released, so that they will be treated, so that they will be taken care of adequately while in detention. So why is it that Nnamdi Kanu is not adequately taken care of? Why? Why is it that with his left ventricle valve, why is it that with the left ventricle valve of Nnamdi Kanu regurgitating, leaking blood right there in the detention, they have not attended to his medical needs? They have not allowed him to have access to his personal physicians that he trusts to take care of his personal need. But the Constitution provides that someone can be denied liberty from leaving detention if the person is sick and they need to take care of the person in the detention. Why is it that Nnamdi Kanu is not being taken care of medically in the detention? These are the relevant sections of the Constitution of Nigeria, which the courts have not complied with, which the government has not complied with, and for which Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is crying out to every one of us that we should do something. That is what you need to understand. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is trying to tell us that we need to do something for his urgent release, because there is no possibility of the government doing something to ensure his release according to the law. This is what you need to know. This is what you need to know. Also, in the open letter, he made mention in the paragraph 3 that a court of competent jurisdiction described the actions of the federal government as executive lawlessness. Executive lawlessness. And the court of competent jurisdiction actually admitted and held that he was forcibly abducted, not arrested. That is what the court said, that he was forcibly abducted. And in 2020, I gave a prophecy that Nnamdi Kanu was going to be abducted. God revealed it to me. That would be a broadcast for another day. I'm going to bring it to the screen. Let me bring the prophecy I promised you, which I made on a live broadcast on the 5th of October, 2023. What a mighty God we serve. What am I taking? What am I taking? No other update. None. That is the breaking news on the screen. You can see it. Court has adjourned to the 15th of December for judgment. What will be the judgment? Now, can you hear that prophecy playing? Can you hear the audio? Because I'm playing from my mobile device. It has not been able to come up to my screen sharing. Up to now, I have some things on the screen, but it's not displaying from what I'm seeing here. Can you hear the audio of this prophecy? I'm going to show it to you right now that you may see the video, that you may see it. It is on this channel. It's on this channel. After this broadcast, if you scroll down to my live broadcast, you will see the broadcast I made on the 5th of October, 2023. Look at it. You will see that broadcast. When you see the broadcast, skip the playing, skip the time to about 2 hours, 35 minutes. This video you are seeing now that I'm showing to you on the camera, the title is Live 5/10/23, which is 5th of October 2023. Nnamdi Kanu, UN judgment versus Supreme Court judgment. That is the title of the broadcast. I said that if there are no prayers, if our people continue to ignore the value and the urgency and the importance of prayers for the release of Nnamdi Kanu, more especially, not all the fake noise you're hearing up and down, all in the name of prayer, all in the name of different kind of things that they are doing. But on the altar that God has chosen, the altar, this very altar that God has chosen, in collaboration with other good altars that we can be able to vouch for, that if we are only dependent on the lawyers or dependent on the government or dependent on anything else for the release of Nnamdi Kanu, that the case of Nnamdi Kanu will continue until 2025 and nothing will happen. I made that prophecy in this broadcast you're seeing that I'm showing to you in the camera on the 5th of October 2023. 2023. That was when I made that prophecy. And this is 2025. I said that this case will continue and nothing will happen until 2025. That's about 2 years now. This prophecy is about 2 years old. And it has come to pass. Many of them have fought so many ways to silence me. Many of them have fought against this very platform. The altar of prayers I raised for Nnamdi Kanu and for the Biafran people. Many of them have fought so hard to discredit it, to bias the mind of men and women from joining to stand in prayers, to listen to the right teachings, to the right teachings, to the right teachings for the release of Nnamdi Kanu. And I gave that prophecy today. It has come to pass. Now, I'm going to play it. Confirm to me that you can hear. Confirm to me that you can hear it. I don't know whether this audio is loud enough. You said it is not audible. You said it is not audible. My goodness. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to look for a device. Let me just bring a device very close so that the prophecy can be more audible. Now, let's see if you can hear it more audibly. Domestic court, look at 2 years. No judgment, 2 years. In the space of 4 months, with space of 4 months, United Nations, what a mighty God we serve. What a mighty God we serve. What a mighty God. No other update. Now, that is the breaking news on the screen. You can see it. Court has adjourned to the 15th of December for judgment. What will be the judgment? Remove prayer. Continue to abuse us. Continue to insult us. Wake up and embrace God. Wake up. Know that this matter is spiritual, not political, not legal. Not political, not legal. It is spiritual. The lawyers will continue to speak grammar even until 2024. Nothing will happen. The lawyers will continue to wear wig and go to court till 2024, till 2025. Nothing will happen without prayers. Try it now, careful. Life and direct. It is prayers. Amazing stuff. you had this is the prophecy. It's on this channel. It's here on this channel. 5th of October 2023. It is here. Right here on this channel. Is here. I gave this prophecy live on air during a live broadcast. And I told our people that if you remove prayer from the matter of, if you remove prayer from this process, if you ignore prayer, if you continue to insult me, continue to abuse me, continue to attack me and the people that I'm praying with, that the matter of Nnamdi Kanu will continue until 2025 and nothing will happen. That the lawyers will continue to go to court and wear wig and speak grammar, that nothing will happen. Because the matter is more of spiritual than legal and political. You have had it now. I will play it back again. If you see this live broadcast on this channel, 5th of October 2023, skip the video, skip it to 2 hours 35 minutes. Begin to play from there. That broadcast lasted for about 5 hours 7 minutes. This broadcast you're seeing now that I'm showing you on camera, it was a live broadcast during the Supreme Court hearing of the case of Nnamdi Kanu on 5th of October 2023. It lasted for 5 hours and 7 minutes. So when you click on the video now on this channel, skip, fast forward it to 2 hours 35 minutes. Begin to play from 2 hours 35 minutes into the broadcast. That is when I gave this prophecy. That is when I gave this prophecy. And you will hear it. And then you will come to know, for those of you that have not known for a long time, you will come to know that indeed there is a man of God that speaks the truth, that God speaks through. And those of you that have been following me for so many years now, who are subscribed to this channel, who are always following me, you will also confirm that indeed that same truth you know about me and about this channel is still the same. It has not changed. It will never change. I'm going to rewind it again, 2 hours, 35 minutes, and I'll begin to play it again. Pay attention. Pay attention. Thank you for your Update Santos Chrysanthus. Thank you very much for your update. The the audio is now more audible. You know, I'm showing it on my phone because YouTube screen is not sharing. I don't know why it stopped sharing. From the beginning of the broadcast, it was sharing. I don't know why it's not sharing. It is sharing, but it's not transmitting what is shared on the screen. It's not transmitting it to your own end, but I'm seeing it on my screen. Now, after playing this prophecy, I will come back to complete other things that Nnamdi Kanu said in this open letter. Now, listen. Positions to stand and to speak out for the release of Nnamdi Kanu and the Biafra. Yes, United Nations victory came. Who you are supposed to obey, the people you are supposed to listen to, those that God has raised to fight for you, to bring you out of your pain and your slavery, to release Nnamdi Kanu. That they don't want you to support, they don't want you to obey, they don't want you to follow, they don't want you to cooperate with. They want you to distance yourself from them. Because these people are those that God has given all it takes to make it a reality. Look at all the things they've been doing in the court. Without the prayers, the previous court victories wouldn't have been recorded in Nigeria. Take it to heaven and bring it down is the truth. Without the prayers. It was when the prayer started, January, Federal High Court, victory came. Prayers, United Nations, victory came. Appeal Court, 13th October 2022, victory came. Prayers, not noise, not press release. All of those things are good. Everybody play your own role. Okay? But don't suppress the people that are the arrowhead, the people that God has put at the forefront, the people that God has put in critical positions to stand and to speak out for the release of Nnamdi Kanu and the Biafra restoration. That is the breaking news. Court adjourns 15th of December for judgment. During the time of the election petition tribunal of Mr. Pitobi, they said, all eyes on judiciary, all eyes on judiciary, all eyes. You think they pay attention to your media, you think they pay attention to all your talk, you think that they pay attention to all your broadcasts, you think that they pay attention to all whatever it is. They don't give a damn, because that is how Nigeria was structured. That is the foundation. If you must correct anything, you must go to the foundation. And the foundation is spiritual, not physical, not political. If you like, bring heaven, bring angel from heaven to rule Nigeria. Nigeria can never be better because it's foundational. It is spiritual. It cannot. Even in the days of Jesus Christ of Nazareth, some didn't believe in him. They rejected him because it is moral spiritual. They were blinded spiritually. John chapter 16, verse 19. That is the ruling of today. Court adjourns 15th of December for judgment. And the lawyers will come back and they will continue to write updates. That is it. What a mess. what a mess. What a mess. The United Nations judgment took how many months? And the judgment came. A whole United Nations. But look at a domestic court. A domestic court. Look at 2 years. No judgment. 2 years. In the space of 4 months. With space of 4 months. United Nations. What a mighty God we serve. What a mighty God we serve. What a mighty God. No other update. None. That is the breaking news on the screen. You can see it. Court has adjourned to the 15th of December for judgment. What will be the judgment?
remove prayer. Continue to abuse us. Continue to insult us. Wake up and embrace God. Wake up. Know that this matter is spiritual, not political, not legal. Not political, not legal. It is spiritual. The lawyers will continue to speak grammar even until 2024. Nothing will happen. The lawyers will continue to wear wig and go to court till 2024, till 2025. Nothing will happen without prayers. Try it now, therefore. Life and direct. It is prayers. Let the lawyers begin to protest for the United Nations judgment to be complied with by the Nigerian government. Not all this adjournment, press release, press briefing. What are they? Let me see if they are giving any press briefing now.
Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. I believe you had that prophecy and you have confirmed it. You have confirmed it. As I said, on the 5th of October 2023, that if our people don't embrace the prayers, the spiritual activities that we have been carrying out, the prophecies have been given to them, all the spiritual effort I've been making alongside other people with me to make sure that Nnamdi Kanu is released, to stand in the gap for them, that God may fight for them. If they don't, that the case of Nnamdi Kanu will continue from that 2023 to 2024 and 2025, and nothing will happen. And that the lawyers will continue to go to court and speak grammar, and they will come back and be writing updates, and nothing will happen. From the day I gave this prophecy to today, this is 2025. What has happened? What has happened? Are the lawyers not still speaking grammar? After the first legal team was sacked, the second legal team took over. What has happened? Now we are on open letter. Ekpere bụ ọgwụ ngwọrọ n'ime Chineke, ekpere bụ ọgwụ ngwọrọ. Aga m agwọ ya ọzọ. Do not doubt the voice of the credible prophets. There are not many. I have told you several times, those that have been following me, that when I give a prophecy, anybody that doubts the prophecy, I don't quarrel with people when they don't believe in my prophecy. But I give you 3 months, 6 months, 1 year. You will see the manifestation of the prophecy, and you will come back to that very conclusion that yes, that prophecy was true. What we do about negative prophecies, we go back behind the doors and ask God to not allow it to come to pass. If we just give it and leave it, it comes to pass. Except there are prophecies with instruction. If there are prophecies with instruction and people refuse to comply with that instruction, then you will never see the manifestation, because it is dependent on the compliance of the instruction to come to pass. I told the Biafran people they need to listen to God, listen to the messages have been given to them, teachings and preachings on leadership. I don't want to touch other things because I don't want to create some uneasiness for the people that are watching this broadcast tonight. We are focusing on the open letter. There are so many things I've said that our people disobeyed and refused to comply with the instructions that God gave to them through me. And today they have come to pass. This one is one of them. After this broadcast, this very screen I have shared with you now is on this channel. It's on this channel. Let me show you again. Find it and play it so that you can listen. The title is Live 5/10/23. MNK at the Supreme Court. UN judgment versus the Supreme Court judgment. That is the title. That is the title. It lasted for 5 minutes, 5 hours and 7 minutes. Then, when you click on the video, play and fast forward it to 2 hours and 35 minutes. That is when you will hear the prophecy. The prophecy have come to pass. I told them in that prophecy, Nnamdi Kanu court case will continue to go on until 2025. And nothing will happen if they don't comply with prophecies and prayers. The instructions have been given to them. They were listening to so many kind of distractions. I said, no, take away your attention from all these distractions. This matter is more spiritual. It is not about getting son or getting senior lawyer or expert in the prosecution of criminal cases. No. Why that is going on, the spiritual foundation, the spiritual background, the spiritual force, the spiritual engine must be going on. They said, no. Who am I? Am I flying private jet? That's what some of them said. How many crowd do I control? That was what many of them were saying. I said, okay, good and fine. Let us see what will happen. From 2023, October 5th, that I gave the prophecy, till today, this is 2025, it has come to pass. Because that was what I said. From 2023 to 2025, nothing will happen in the case of Nnamdi Kanu. Lawyers will continue to go to court, speaking grammar and writing updates, and nothing will happen. If you fail to comply with what I'm telling you, that is where we are today. It's not by power. It's not by mind. It's not by my wisdom. It is by the grace of God. The Bible said, believe in the Lord, you shall be established. Believe in his prophet, and you shall prosper. Now, back to this letter. The points that we were able to note in the paragraphs. I have talked about the proscription of IPOB. I've talked about the violation of Nnamdi Kanu's human rights. According to the 1999 Constitution, I read from Section 34 and Section 35 of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended. I read from it. I'm not going back to it. I'm done with that. Now, we are going to look at an interesting statement that the appeal court made about the case of Nnamdi Kanu. We are going to look at it now. Let me see if I can still bring it to the screen. Let me try and see if I can bring it to the screen. Finally, it has come to the screen. Look at what YouTube has done. You can see it now on the screen. It refused to come for some time now. They have allowed it to come to the screen. You know, when I was complaining about the screen sharing, some people thought it was a gimmick, or I don't have it in my system. Even the prophecy I played from my phone, that is the truth. I don't tell lies. Now, let us check the next paragraph. Nnamdi Kanu must be released, whether they like it or not. He must be released. He must be released. Now, we are taking the paragraph 3 of that letter. And I'm going to show you something that many of you have not seen. I'm going to read it again and then I'll point it out to prove to you that no, as I said 3 days ago, that the case of Nnamdi Kanu has been closed. It has been, there is no other case going on in the case or in the matter of Nnamdi Kanu. Back to 13th October 2022, when the Court of Appeal held that the court must never shy away from calling the executive to order when they resort to acts of executive lawlessness. That was in reference to the government of Muhammadu Buhari. The duty of the courts is to maintain a balance between ensuring that law and order is obeyed and the protection of the individual from oppressive actions by the executive, by the forcible abduction and extraordinary rendition of the appellant Mazi Nnamdi Kanu from Kenya to this country on the 27th day of June 2021 in violation of international and state laws. The lower court, or indeed any court in this country, is divested of jurisdiction to entertain charges against the appellant. This you need to know. This you need to know. This you need to know. Very important that you understand it. That is what the appeal court said. That is what the appeal court said. It is the statement of the appeal court. This is what you need to know. You have to understand that it was the appeal court of Nigeria that made this statement. And I'm going to prove to you what this statement means. By the forcible abduction and extraordinary rendition of the appellant Mazi Nnamdi Kanu from Kenya to this country on the 27th day of June 2021 in violation of international and state laws. Our Appeal Court of Nigeria said that the way that he was brought to Nigeria by the government of Muhammadu Buhari, it was a forcible abduction. Forcible abduction, which is extraordinary rendition, which is also in violation of international and state laws. What are the state laws? The Constitution of Nigeria and other relevant laws that have their authenticity or legitimacy from the Constitution. The appeal court said that they did not only break international law, they did not only violate international law, they also violated the Nigerian laws. I read to you one of the laws from the section 34 and 35 of the Nigerian 1999 Constitution as amended. So what did the appeal court said conclusively? The lower court, or indeed any court in this country, is divested of jurisdiction to entertain charges against the appellant. Who is the appellant? Nnamdi Kanu. What does it mean to be divested? Can somebody help us in the chat section? What does it mean? The appeal court said that the lower court in Nigeria and any other court in Nigeria is divested of jurisdiction to entertain charges against Nnamdi Kanu. Help us. What does it mean? In the chat section. Let me see if somebody can help us in the chat section. I'm looking at the chat section. Can somebody help us understand what the appeal court said? What did they mean by the lower court and other courts in Nigeria are divested of the jurisdiction? Divested. Thank you very much, Ferdinand Uguzo. Thank you very much for that very brilliant answer. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. They have no rights. Divested means not vested with. Not vested with. Now, who gives the right? Who gives the right? It is the Constitution that gives the right to the court to sit on any matter. That is why Constitution has different sections, different subsections, different items on it. And every other law in Nigeria, none of them that comes in conflict or that is contrary to the Constitution that will stand. Any law in Nigeria that is contrary to the Constitution, that does not agree with the Constitution, is a nullity. That is what the Constitution says. It is the Constitution that vests judges with the right to sit on a matter. It is the Constitution that confers the right to sit on a matter. And the judge must try the matter according to the Constitution and also other laws that agree with the Constitution, not contrary to that. So, the appeal court says that the lower court and any other court in Nigeria is divested of the jurisdiction. They don't have the jurisdiction. They are stripped of the jurisdiction. They are stripped off of the jurisdiction. They have lost the jurisdiction. That is what it is talking about. It is divesting. They have removed the jurisdiction from every court in Nigeria to entertain the trial of Nnamdi Kanu. As you can see on the screen, that is what the appeal court said. In violation of international and state laws, the lower court, or indeed any court in this country, is divested of jurisdiction to entertain charges against the appellant. So whether it is the Federal High Court or the Supreme Court, they have been divested of the jurisdiction. They have been divested. They have been stripped off of the jurisdiction. The robe, the right to have the jurisdiction in order to try Nnamdi Kanu has been removed. That is what the appeal court held. And the Nigerian government did not challenge it. That is what we're looking at in this very open letter of Nnamdi Kanu. We are going to the next. We are going to the next. In the paragraph 4, fast forward to 15 December 2023, when the Supreme Court sent back my case to the Federal High Court for trial, for avoidance of doubt, that was not the only decision. That was not the only decision of the Supreme Court made, or the only decision that the Supreme Court made. It also decided that my bail should not have been revoked, and it went on to state clearly that the judge exhibited significant and unacceptable bias by revoking my bail. So, what the judge, Justice Bintanyako, was supposed to do after accepting or having received the case being sent back by the Supreme Court to her court was to reinstate the bail of Nnamdi Kanu. She was supposed to comply with the pronouncement and the decision of the Supreme Court. The legal team of Nnamdi Kanu was not even supposed to apply for bail again. But do you know that the legal team of Nnamdi Kanu still went ahead to apply for bail? They applied again for bail. The court threw it away. Whereas the Supreme Court said that the bail he was enjoying in 2017, before the Operation Python and Stew, which Justice Bintanyako revoked after his disappearance, that she was wrong in revoking his bail. And it was a biased action that she took against Nnamdi Kanu. She was supposed to abide by the decision of the Supreme Court, which she failed to do. Now, in the paragraph 5, I will go to the last statement that he made. Very, very important that we all may understand that it is now on us to work very hard, for the release of Nnamdi Kanu. That to stand shoulder to shoulder with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Against any other person